In this valley beside the Jordan River lies Jericho. It is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. Kings and prophets walked these lands. Invading armies swept north and south. In the space of just a few days, Jericho and on the other side of Israel, the Gaza Strip, have become the focus of the hopes and fears of Palestinians and Israelis. Still banned by Israeli occupation law, Palestinian flags are everywhere in Jericho, the new center of what Palestinians are calling their liberated territories. Anwar Bakr lives in Jericho, but his home was once in a village now inside Israel. I asked Anwar to imagine a road trip for Yasser Arafat that would take him between Jericho and Gaza.
By road, he will see everything. And he will see a lot of settlements on the way. And he will see, if he would take a car, he would see Israelis everywhere. I don't think that he will be pleased when he sees the areas with his own eyes.
We took that drive from Jericho, around Jerusalem, through the still-occupied West Bank, across Israel itself to the Gaza Strip, less than 150 miles. We wanted to see what Yasser Arafat might see, and if he stopped to talk, hear what people might say to him. So just down the road from Jericho, our first stop was an Israeli farm settlement called Nema. Hi there. Shalom. The Rosenblums live here with 21 other families. Matat Rosenblum looks after her 3 children. Her husband Enon has nearly $500,000 invested in greenhouses and equipment. But this land may now be returned to the Palestinians. What kind of dreams did you have for this place?
I didn't have dreams. I had plans. I'm not dreaming. But I have plans to make a big farm here. And I succeeded to make my dream come true.
So you thought that you were safe in not only building a home here, but building a business?
Building a business and building my life here. My life and my family life.
But if leaving his greenhouses and his home would help make peace, Enon is ready to make the sacrifice.
If the government tell us to go from here, I will be very sad, but I will leave.
The Rosenblums would like to stay, even after all that has passed between Palestinians and Israelis. They say they could live beside Yasser Arafat.
I know he sent people to murder and to kill and all this. I know. He doesn't have clean hands. He has blood on his hands. But peace you make with your enemies. And I want to make peace with him. I don't want my children to go to fight in the army. I don't want. I'm afraid from what will be if we don't make peace.
Like the Rosenblums, we left wondering about the nature of this peace. We climbed into the Sumerian hills in the occupied West Bank. The New Testament says Christ fasted in this desolate wilderness. At the end of this tortuous road is Jerusalem, the shimmering city on the hill, claimed by both Israelis and Palestinians. Its future is still uncertain, and Yasser Arafat may get no closer than this, forced to travel on this new Israeli-built road. Palestinian skeptics point to this road as proof of their belief that Yasser Arafat will never get to Jerusalem. It's a dusty, dirty, windy dirt track that runs through a place called Wadi Nahal. That means Valley of Fire, and boy is it hot down here. But for both Israelis and Palestinians, the most important thing about this road is that it completely bypasses Jerusalem. In the village at the top of the ridge, there's a meeting of Palestinians who oppose the agreement. There are too many unanswered questions, they say, about Jerusalem, about what comes next. Isn't it better to start with something small and go step by step, even if it means that it's going to take a longer time?
You know, as a Palestinian, I don't like this agreement because it doesn't express what I fought for. It's like something that somebody who his house was taken, and you are telling him, okay, I agree that you can look at it.
You cannot start something with everything. See, culturally, we were taught that we want all Palestine. We want Jerusalem as our capital. We want everything. It takes time to educate new people, to change their thinking and their behavior.
The Israelis are having a debate, too. We traveled to the nearby Jewish settlement of Efrat to meet Jeremy and Erica Brown. They worry their government has made a mistake by recognizing Arafat and the PLO.
10 minutes ago, the PLO was broke. Yasser Arafat was an outcast by most of the Arab states because of the Gulf War mess-up. And now, 5 minutes down the road, he's the president of the up-and-coming state of Palestine. And who has done that? Well, we've done that. The Israeli government has done that.
If you were to meet Yasser Arafat, what would you say to him?
Have you really changed? Can you really change? Why did you do what you did? Why didn't you speak to us 20 years ago? It's a shame. It's caused innocent deaths on both sides.
If Arafat were to drive to Gaza, the final leg of his trip would take him through this checkpoint into Israel proper and across the stark beauty of the Negev desert to the gates of Gaza. Densely populated, terribly impoverished, a haven for extremists. Gaza is the other end of Yasser Arafat's territory. Some might say a poor prize. In the Rafah refugee camp, we met Ahmed Hussein, a student. He fought the Israelis, but accepts this peace agreement because it will change his life. What will that mean for you to be able to finish studying?
I'll find a job, but now if I finish my education, I wouldn't find a job. There are many unemployment.
After we left Ahmed's house, we saw people running. We went to investigate. A patrol of Israeli soldiers had moved into the area. Peace agreement or not, Palestinians were throwing stones. The soldiers fired back. We tried to ask the Israeli soldiers why they were firing live ammunition.
Go away, back for home, okay? Well, I don't know, man.
Then we learned that one of our crew members had been wounded.
What happened to Mustafa? Let me... Ça va, Mustafa?
Mustafa Sherrier was shot in the leg.
I just focused in on them, and I could see them firing, just starting to fire, and they let off a few rounds. So I said, well, let's get down the alley, and suddenly Moose went, like that.
Okay, we gotta go. Okay, come.
I'm going to the hospital. You're coming.
Yeah, we're coming. The road to reconciliation and true peace will not be easy. But as Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin said in Washington today, enough of blood and tears. Enough. The time for peace has come.
We should add that Mustafa Sherrier, our ABC News crew member who was shot, is still in the hospital tonight. The gunshot wound to his leg is serious, but he is expected to fully recover.